heard of geisha, okay? Or maybe you watched a movie, but maybe some of you are not so familiar, or you don't know how a geisha or maiko looks like. You don't know what they look like. Okay, so there's a poster here to help you understand. Okay. So, have you heard of maiko? Yes, or maybe no. Okay. Okay, so this one is a geisha, Japanese geisha. This one is a maiko. I think the term of geisha is more popular than the term of maiko. Maybe you've never heard of maiko. But basically, they are both a traditional performers and entertainers. They perform the tea ceremony and they entertain you by singing, dancing, performing different types of traditional Japanese art. They are also really good at talking, very good at conversationalists. So they will engage with you and interact with you even after the tea ceremony. So it is a very special experience where it's not just watching the performance but also engaging with the geisha, who is very skillful at answering questions and entertaining the clients. Okay, so what is maiko then? The maiko is someone who is training to become geisha but not geisha yet. You need to become maiko first, receive training for 3 to 5 years before you can become the geisha. Okay, so this is the apprentice, the student, basically, learning to become geisha. Okay, so the training is very difficult. You have to master the Japanese very elegant dance, okay, and also the Japanese instruments, and also how to answer questions very gracefully. The movement have to be very graceful. Okay, now there's a career. It's a career job that started. It started around 15 to 1600s, long time ago. At that time, the men are in the power. They can become high-ranking and noble people, the lords, but the women are very low social status, not much respect. It's very common for Asia countries actually back then. So what happened to women at that time was that they would usually be sold to entertainment districts. So when you are sold to entertainment districts, you either become the one that sell the body or the one that sell the talent. The geishas and the maikos are the ones that sell the talent. Okay? Get a little bit closer. Closer to the small circle. Okay, make way for the car. Okay? So the geishas and the maikos are the ones that sell the talent and perform a traditional Japanese art. They are very talented people and they do a very good job at performing. It's kind of like poetry, people describe it as. Okay? So until today, there are still actually, quite a number of geisha and maiko working in Kyoto. But the number is much less than many years ago. So as Japan is getting modernized, not everyone appreciates the traditional geisha experience or like a traditional kabuki theater or something. Tradition is getting less popular, especially with the younger generation. Okay, so the number is getting less, but Gion is still the area with the biggest number of geishas in Japan. Gion area. Okay, the area that we are in now is Gion area. Okay. So sometimes we see the geishas and maiko walking around in this area. It's not because they are going shopping or something. Okay, when the geishas are dressed up like this, it actually means that they are working. In their daily life, they are wearing a casual kimono. Okay, they wouldn't be dressed up like this. This is the performance costume. Okay, so you see them walking around. They are actually on the way to a performance. Nowadays, besides in the tea houses, ochaya, the geishas also perform at theaters. They also perform at shrines and festivals, even some restaurant or hotel. Some hotels hire geisha and maiko to perform at the hotel lobby, okay, to show travelers about the geisha performance. Okay, so now they also do performances everywhere. Okay, so sometimes we see them come out from the tea house and then they walk towards a formal location all dressed up. Very beautiful. Okay. So to see a geisha performance, okay, usually I recommend the geisha theater for tourists, okay, for travelers. That's easier. But the locals actually prefer the ochaya, which is a tea house. Ochaya is tea house, okay, because of the tea ceremony, so it's tea house. Okay, so when you go to the tea house, not only you receive the tea ceremony and the performance, but also you get to interact with the beautiful geishas. Okay, they will also play Japanese games with you. Okay, they're very good at entertaining. Okay, so the locals prefer the tea houses because it's very intimate. It's a private space and it's very luxurious, okay? And it's private. So the geisha will be entertaining you or just two of you, just your group. Okay. When you go to the theater, it's no interaction with the geisha. Yes. So locals usually prefer the tea houses. And in today's world, it's the most popular with business people and politicians. Okay, business people and politicians because of how private the tea houses are. Most of the tea houses in this area, they are members only, very, very exclusive. Okay, yes. So it's popular with businessmen and businesswomen because, as you know, our current president is a lady woman, right? Okay, so the women are getting more respect. Okay, becoming also high position. Okay, so men and women can go to the tea houses to watch the performance and to engage with the geisha. So when you're having a business meeting, okay, the geisha will be performing in the background, okay, attending to a good tea, okay. So it's a very luxurious and very special experience, especially if you are meeting with an important business partner or something. You want to impress them. Okay, you are meeting with a business partner, you want to impress them, you bring them to the tea house. Okay, some of the tea houses are member only. So you bring someone there, they feel like, wow, you can get into this very exclusive tea house. You must be someone of high status. Okay, and the setting is also very luxurious, very suitable for business. Okay, so before the geisha tea houses are simply for the male entertainment. Now it's not only for business, but also popular as a kind of educational for travelers, performing at the theaters, performing at the hotels. Okay, so it's a more freedom and more flexible than before. Definitely. Before, when you decide to become a geisha or Maiko, there's a lot of restrictions. Okay, such as you have to strictly live in the like a dormitory kind of, where you are kind of living in the tea house and working in the tea house forever with no freedom. But now the geisha and the Maiko can live in a modern apartment and then just go to the tea house for work, go to the performance area. So there's more flexibility. Okay? So in this area, sometimes we see geisha and Maiko walking around. If you're wondering, how can I tell she is geisha or Maiko? There's actually a few differences in the attire. For the geisha, she doesn't wear any flowers in her hair, and her kimono and her outfit is a very plain, very mature, okay, and very modest one. But for the Maiko, who's a student, it's so vibrant, colorful, with many decorations. So you look at her hair. If she is wearing many flowers, she is just a student. If she doesn't wear any flowers, it's plain, it means that she is a geisha. That's the easiest way to tell. Some other differences include the belt, the obi, and also the wooden sandals. The geisha has the short wooden sandal. The Maiko has a tall wooden sandal. Okay? The Maiko has a long belt at the back that goes down to the feet, so like a tail when she's walking. Okay? And then for the geisha, it's a short folded one, the traditional type. So they have different elements on their costume. Okay, the easiest way is to look at hair. Flower, Maiko, no flower, geisha. And for the geisha, this is a wig, not her real hair. For the Maiko, this is her real hair. She comb it like this, and she doesn't wash for a few days. Okay, so she sleeps straight. So in the morning when she get up, she can just do makeup and she can leave the house quickly. Okay, she doesn't have to keep redoing every single day. So once the Maiko does this hair, she kind of reuse it for a few days. Okay, now that's the difference in a Maiko or geisha. If we see Maiko or geisha, are photos allowed? Okay. Keep a respectable distance. And no flash photography, no asking for photos. It's the most respectful if you take photos from the side or the back. Okay, so avoid like a paparazzi style, okay, like acting like a paparazzi, that's not good. Okay, so show respect and photos from respectable distance is okay. Alright, so behind us is one of the tea houses, ochaya. To point out, okay, the ochaya tea house symbol, which is this one over here. It says ochaya, which means tea house. This is the official label from Japanese tea house, like a logo. Japanese tea houses have this logo. If it's no logo, maybe it's just someone's house or it's a restaurant or something. Okay, so this is the official tea house logo. There's a few tea houses here. Now sometimes we see the geisha talking around here. Okay, but if we don't see them here, it's okay. Next we are going to Hanamikoji. Hanamikoji is the biggest geisha district in Kyoto with many ochaya, including the 400-year-old ochaya Ichiriki, where they filmed the memoirs of the geisha. So in that area is the most expensive tea houses, very exclusive, expensive ones. Okay, that's members only. Even if you are Japanese